Hey everyone, I'm Tommy Oler. You're listening to Let's Write an Episode, the podcast where me and a team of writers come up with a brand new episode of an old TV show and perform it for you. Last week you heard us perform Miami Vice. Now you get to hear us come up with the story. All your questions answered. Joining me this time around are two of Memphis's top comics, Brandon Sams and Will Loden. Brandon is a 10-year vet of stand-up comedy who has hosted and created too many shows to count, and Will, a big boy who gets big laughs, is part of the Comic Comedians, a group who puts on show after show. They do everything from live shows to sketches, with some events gaining donations to St. Jude Children's Hospital. So yeah, I got a couple of good-hearted fellas on this episode, and as you may remember, this time around I wanted an all-male team to write a masculine episode of a masculine show after doing Reba, Xena, and Gossip Girl the past few months. Because after a few lighthearted dramedies, you need a Transformers in your life, you know? So that's enough of that. I hope you enjoy hearing us write our parody episode of Miami Vice. Here are me, Will Loden, and Brandon Sams. Gene Simmons and Frankie Valli in it. And I was like, what? They had to each of them total 6 lines, like, so 3 lines apiece. They were just like, yeah, I know the guy. that was the stuff. That was what they did. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. All right, well let's go ahead and start. Let's start writing this episode of Miami Vice. So we're gonna use the hero's journey. Okay. And yeah. You get the whole, yeah, we're doing this now.
Do I need to talk?
Yes, you need.
Oh, yeah,
there we go.
Okay.
There we go.
Cool.
So basically, usually I come up with an idea. So I had an idea for like a theme we could follow for this episode. And everyone I watched, they care about what they're wearing, what they have.
Yes.
Crockett, the white guy, Don Johnson. He lives on a boat. He has a Ferrari.
Yep.
He has a pet alligator. Like he cares about his stuff. And Tubbs always has a nice suit on. He makes sure he looks perfect. So I was thinking of having sort of the idea of the episode be they have to lose their stuff.
Okay.
And the idea is that say they are facing a bad guy who takes their stuff, and that makes them hesitant to take him down because they don't want to hurt or break their stuff.
Okay.
So to get over that, they have to let go of their material stuff to take this guy down.
Okay. So
we're lighting neon suits on fire. Right?
That's basically it. So that's the idea. Just the idea. Plus, I just wanted because I just think their names are funny, and I just think Crockett and Tubbs, and I just thought I was talking to Bridget about the bad guy's name, and I was like, what if his name was something like Pecker Sweet? And I was like, his name will be Pecker Sweet, and I just think that's so stupid. Nice.
Sweet. Is that birth name, or is he like his name? Do something? And it's old Sweet Pecker.
Yeah. No, his birth name. First name Pecker, last name Sweet. Yeah. Pecker Sweet.
It's French.
So basically, that's the idea of like the theme of the show is that they have to let go of their material possessions. They have to lessen their hold on it in order to take this guy down. So I just have the idea of them searching for Pecker Sweet, and Pecker takes their stuff.
So you want Don Johnson to search for Pecker because Pecker's got the stuff.
Yeah. Pecker's got the stuff.
The other guy's name's Lawrence.
So it's Crockett and Tubbs.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No.
Okay.
Like the other actors.
Johnson and Lawrence.
Yeah. Oh, Philip Michael Thomas, Don Johnson, and Philip Michael Thomas. And then the guy from Battlestar Galactica and
oh my God,
Edward James Olmos. Edward James Olmos, who is his character. All he does is stand, brood with his hands in his pockets. That's what he does the whole time.
You're ruining everything.
Yeah, and
calm it down.
He always talks real slow and real soft. They'll say something like, "We had him at 5th, but he kept running and we lost him." And he's like, "Don't worry about that.
It's not really that big of a deal.
Find his wife." Talk to her.
I also love how the two side cops, like, that are always in the stakeout van.
Oh, yeah.
The one side cop keeps fat shaming the other one, like, every time at lunch. I'll have 3 cheeseburgers. Yeah, you will, you fat piece of shit. Like, oh, my God.
Exactly.
You can't even hear him. He's, like, watching him through binoculars. Fat shaming him.
So, like, every episode just kind of, like, begins with something happening. There's always, like, this cold open. It just starts. And so that's what always happens. They're always doing some, like, stakeout. And the show...
I just want 4 hot dogs and 2 fries. Of course.
Fat Pete.
And the two guys in the van, both bearded, but then there's also the two women that work with them, Trudy.
Right.
I saw one episode.
She's an 80s lady.
Yeah, I saw one episode where Trudy clearly didn't know how to skate, and they had her on skates. It's like they're like, okay, you're on skates for this. She's like, I'm on what? And then she skated like 2 feet and stopped, and then did her line, and then didn't move the rest of the scene. That's what she did. She skated up to the guy, and it's like, he's in the bathroom, and then by the way, yeah, she skated up to like a bar or something, and then just held on. He's over there. Just held on hard.
All right, so we're looking for major 80s tropes.
Let's say they're just on some stupid stakeout like they always are at the beginning.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
They're after some guy. Say he's a no-name guy who works under Pecker.
Right.
And
No name works under Pecker.
yeah, he
works around
on Pecker, like with Pecker.
He works around Pecker.
He's an underling of Pecker.
It's a hands-on kind of job.
Yeah,
Right.
he works under Pecker, and they're after this guy. Who cares what his name is?
Dick tight ass.
Okay, that's what
I was going to say Steven, but we can go for that.
Steven, yeah.
Just me, Steven, the criminal, over here doing the crime stuff.
Yeah.
And so what they do?
It's got to be a dock.
Yeah, let's make it at the dock.
Yeah.
So they're at the dock. They capture Dick, and somehow
Steven. Oh God.
somehow it goes wrong, and Dick, before he dies, he mentions that he works for Pecker Sweet, and
Right.
so now they're after Pecker Sweet. So
Right.
what they want is to find Pecker Sweet.
Right.
They need to find.
They got to find Pecker.
They got to find Pecker Sweet. Now we need to put Pecker in some area that causes them to adapt to this situation. They're always
That's what
going
she
to adapt.
says.
Yes.
You need to put Pecker somewhere that makes me adapt to the situation.
So Pecker, I don't know what his history is, but
I mean, Pecker sounds like he's a family man. He's
Well,
really
okay. First off, we're in Florida. All right. So let's say Pecker is a great-great-grandson of sugar plantation owners.
okay.
Let's
Sweet.
see. He
That's why his
owns a
last name's
small-
Sweet.
He owns a small fleet of smuggling boats that go from here to Cuba.
There we
right?
go.
He's bringing drugs in, but here's the rub: a hurricane hit, right? And 6 of his boats got sank with a lot.
so
of
the coke
cocaine
starts
money.
washing up onto the shores and stuff like that.
We can do that one. But Pecker needs cash quick because
Yeah.
the drug dealers that he's working with are like, whoa, you just lost, what is this, 1985? So $85,000 worth of cocaine, which is like $1 billion in today's market. And so he has to rob his boat neighbor, Crockett, to get money for his stuff.
Yeah.
Turns out Crockett's Lamborghini and boat are worth $85,000.
Yeah.
There you go.
Maybe have Pecker and Crockett and Tubbs clashed before? Because I feel like that's the way that Pecker would know to bother Crockett and Tubbs and throw them off.
I feel like that whenever he brings up the name Pecker Sweet, so whenever the Dick brings up the name Pecker Sweet and dies, this can cause Crockett to brood. And whenever they meet, there's always a meeting with Castillo,
Right.
Edward James Olmos.
The exposition meeting.
Yeah. So they have the exposition meeting. We learn about Pecker's backstory. We learn about his friendly backstory with Crockett.
Okay.
And
borrowed a
then
cup of sugar from that guy. He was the best.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get that because
and by the way, can any of you do impressions? Because we're going to have guest stars.
Dude, if you did your Tom Waits,
You're
so if Tom Waits was in the episode.
So Tom Waits is Pecker Sweet. That's
Okay.
it.
All right, that's fine. Okay, I can do that.
So for this episode, you will play Tom Waits as Pecker Sweet, which is just you doing Tom Waits. Okay,
that's
so
fine.
that's what it's going to
Cool.
be.
It's 1985. So is Mike Tyson in jail in 1985?
I don't know. Google it.
Yeah.
No. He went to jail in the 90s.
Yeah. He had just started his beatdowns of everyone in 85, right?
Somewhere, I think it was a little bit later than that.
Okay.
I think it was, because, HBO Boxing, when he was, really knocking people out in, 5 minutes, that was, 99, not 99, 91,
Yeah.
89, something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think because
Orenthal Simpson was
Ghostbusters just came
huge in 85.
Can you do an OJ impression?
I can't do an OJ, though. I was going to lean on Richard.
Okay. Well, the thing is, I know.
OJ.
I know.
I am OJ. Hello. I will not stab you. I will, though.
So we have Pecker Sweet, who's going to be Tom Waits, and so
The Irish terrorist Liam Neeson.
Okay, so what happens is they with their little exposition meeting. They got that happening. Castillo tells them what they need to do next, which can be what we'll figure out in a minute.
Right.
So they go to this unfamiliar territory, which can be for Tubbs, his emotional, or Crockett, because we'll make this Crockett centric, I guess, because we just did.
Yeah.
Nobody loves Tubbs. You know what I'm saying?
But that's good, because we can have Tubbs be the foil to Crockett and basically just tell him the lesson he needs to learn.
Yeah.
If only you could just figure out that maybe your possessions are worth less than, for the freedom and safety of others. Maybe. Actually, though, Tubbs is really, really a highly spoken dude in the show. He's very very flat.
Yeah. He absolutely is. So we have that.
Okay.
So what I was saying before, I guess the unfamiliar journey for Crockett would be his coming to terms with having to capture and bring in his neighbor Pecker.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the meantime, the actual journey they go on, when they go to get Pecker somehow has found out that his friend Dick has given him up, and he needs this money.
Yeah.
He needs this money. And he knows the stuff that Crockett has.
They've clearly had beers together on each other's boats and stuff, you know. And then you ride around in your Ferrari in front of your boat.
Yeah, and when they
in the water, it's a water Ferrari.
When they arrive to the little boat home area, Crockett's boat is
Marina.
There we go.
Marina. The marina.
Or dock.
Home or dock.
Whatever thing you want to call it. I call it boat home area.
The boat stop place we're in.
The marina.
Look at Tommy. Do you think Tommy owns a boat? Do you think Tommy is nautically sound? No.
Mountain people.
They go there and Crockett discovers his boat is gone.
Right.
His boat is
His
gone.
alligator's gone.
His alligator. How about his alligator's just on the dock? It's just been thrown on the dock.
I don't need this alligator. I'm just
How am I supposed to feed this alligator?
Pull this around the dock.
Yeah.
Nobody. We're just
Pecker.
no one just steals an alligator. That's ridiculous.
So now not only does Crockett not have a home,
he doesn't have a car.
Well, no, his car's not taken yet. Let's not take his car yet.
I'm going to save taking his car until later when it's more emotionally relevant.
So he doesn't have a home. All he's got is an alligator in his Ferrari. And
all he's got is an alligator and a Ferrari in Miami.
And so now they have to figure out where Pecker Sweet is. So my guess is that they learn about Pecker Sweet. They go to the meeting, the exposition meeting, talk to Castillo. Crockett broods over it being Pecker Sweet, but maybe he doesn't want to believe that it's him. Castillo says something like, "How many Pecker Sweets do you think are in Miami?" And then he's like, "All right."
I checked in the phone book. There's actually 5. It's 5.
And so he tells them, first of all, so Castillo tells them to go check on their Pecker Sweet. And before he goes, he grabs Crockett, and he's like, "You might be too close to this." And he's like, "No, I'm fine. I'm fine." And then,
I really want Don Johnson to talk like that in the show. No, I'm fine. I am perfectly okay. Non-regional dialect.
in a non-regional dialect, "I'm good, thank you."
Thank you. I have to go get my alligator off the boat parking space.
So they go. They discover his boat is gone. And that's whenever they go, "All right, it is my Pecker Sweet. It's my Pecker Sweet."
Yeah. Is this when Tubbs brings him aside and is like, "You're gonna have to be. What if you don't get the boat back?" Is Don really torn up about the boat being gone?
Yeah, Don. He's got to be. He's got to be torn up about his boat being gone, because if that we gotta. This is like the first moment we get to press our theme, where we got like where we let people know that, hey, quit freaking out over the boat. Like, your suspect is gone. The guy, you need to get the guy. And he's
Is he Bond villain-esque? Does he like leave like a little bit of cocaine with like a woodpecker like stamped on it or something like that?
I don't know. I don't think they ever did anything like that
No,
on Miami Vice.
they didn't do anything like that.
I feel like he would probably do that, like if this were not strange circumstances. But he owes $85,000. He's got to get it.
He's got to get out.
He's got to
time for the whole woodpecker thing. I've got to.
Yeah.
Got to hurry up.
Yeah,
and
he's
get
got to
this
go.
money.
He's got to get this money. Yeah.
He's got to get it. So now they've got to find Pecker in other ways. And this unfamiliar territory, it can
That
be.
is also what she said.
Yeah.
And now I have to find Pecker in other ways.
In this unfamiliar territory.
In this unfamiliar territory.
That's her breakup line.
That's right.
She breaks up with you.
Oh God, that's horrible.
Now,
Just text that shit to me. Don't look at me in the face.
she looks you in your mouth and eyes and says, "Now I have to find Pecker in other ways."
All right.
And
So now they have to adapt. So all right. So what do we know? Where would they go to hunt for Pecker
so
when they're going on their Pecker hunt?
when they go on their Pecker hunt,
Well, pretty clearly. Okay, so in order to sell the boat, here's how we do this. In order to sell the boat, we know that Pecker has to take it deep into the bayou. He can't sell it in the regular open areas of Miami because everybody knows it's Crockett's boat. Everybody knows, right? So he's got to take it to the secret boat seller. We'll call him Woodsy.
Yeah.
And he is in the bayou. Right?
Yeah.
And Crockett and Tubbs find this out because they go to see their old Mexican friend, who is that white guy who plays the Mexican guy on every episode.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, I have the very terrible accent.
So, and Woodsy, that can be our next
Woodsy
guest star.
Jose Baez.
That could be our next guest star. We can, and for...
Played by Shaquille O'Neal.
So they go to the boat place.
Yes.
The
Swamp Bayou boat sale.
The
Stolen boat sale.
Yeah, the Swamp Bayou boat sale. That's where they got to go. And Woodsy is there, and this is like another thing they're looking out on. Now, for our episode...
Yes, it's the status guy. And he's sitting there. He's like, I'll have 4 fried alligator tails and 7 bowls of crawfish and etouffee. Of course you will, you fat fucking piece of shit. God damn it, we're here trying to figure out about this illegal boat sale, and you can't. And I'll take 3 baskets of beignets.
Nom.
Sorry.
So we go to Woodsy. They're on a stakeout with you. They see Pecker Sweet there. They go to make their move, and whenever they go to capture him,
Yes.
Pecker Sweet, let's say he steals
Don Johnson's Ferrari.
Don Johnson's Ferrari, and Don Johnson has a clear shot on him, but he doesn't.
He's in the Ferrari.
He's in the Ferrari.
And he's aiming at it, and it's like the aim goes down to the Ferrari.
It's literally the Ferrari is coming straight at him, and he's got his gun pointed directly at him. And we know how good of a shot Don Johnson is from the show, and he can't make the shot. And so what happens is Tubbs is over there like, shoot him, Crockett, and he just can't pull the trigger.
And he pulls his hands away and looks forlorn.
And then he jumps out of the way, and Pecker Sweet drives off.
And can we cut intercut shots of Pecker Sweet in the car trying to get the cruise control to work? I don't even know where this is. Is this a button situation? Do I turn this
That's the
dial?
problem with these Ferraris and their
You feel like-
goddamn stick shift.
It's a $35,000 Ferrari. Clearly, it should have cruise control. I don't understand.
So he drives by, and he gets out. The boat has already been sold. It's gone, and
I can't believe I bought this sweet boat.
and what happens is whenever they're there at the stakeout, it's just Pecker there picking up the money. They're there to catch him selling the boat. It turns out the boat's gone. And he's only there to pick up the money because Woodsy is a middleman. He just took the money from one guy, handing it to the other guy. So, and then after that, now Crockett has no boat, no car,
Just an alligator.
How about the alligator still in? No alligator. It's still in.
The alligator has been hanging out in the back of the Pinto he rented to catch this guys.
Okay.
No. You're right. No alligator.
It's
No
Smokey.
boat, no alligator.
It's a Smokey and the
All of his
Bandit
clothes,
situation.
all of his clothes are in the boat too. So he's still wearing this same white,
now it's
same
got,
white
like,
It's
suit.
getting a little
Cuffs on it?
dirty. It's getting
Yeah.
a little dirty.
A little
Yeah.
dirty.
Same white suit, and I'm thinking periwinkle shirt.
It's got periwinkle, but it's 4 buttons down. There's
Right.
a nice coif of chest hair.
Yeah, it's glistening because of his dirty swamp sweat he's got. And so this is the moment where they talk to Woodsy and they find out Pecker's background. They go talk to Woodsy, and they're like, "What's with Pecker?" We find out everything you said about Pecker's background. The Cuba stuff, the cocaine's missing. He's selling all this because he's lost right now.
I gotta get a bunch of money. For
He's
all
gotta
the
get the
cocaine that I
money.
lost in that
Yeah.
hurricane.
An unfortunate storm.
What is a common '80s name? Chip.
Dylan.
Hurricane Chip.
Hurricane Chip. Oh my God. Wait, when was Hurricane Andrew?
Like
88 or something like that?
88, 89.
Okay. Is that what's a famous 1985 hurricane?
I feel like somebody could Google that. I
I don't have my phone. Oh, here it is. Let me. Okay.
If this were a question of trivia night, our team would lose.
Name a famous 1985 hurricane.
Hurricane Gary? Hurricane Gary?
And then it turns out they wanted you to name one of the football players from the Miami Hurricanes. They're the 1985 champions. The 1985 champions.
Let's see.
Is it crazy
1985
that the Vikes went
Atlantic
off this entire
hurricane
time?
season. All right. Ooh, which was the highest number? Yeah, it had a bunch of them. Yeah, a bunch of them. Let's see. We got
Hurricane Ishmael.
strongest storm was Hurricane Gloria.
Gloria.
Got it. Gloria is a
Gloria.
great 80s name too because there was that
Gloria.
80s song Gloria.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Gloria.
Gloria.
Took all my boats and my cocaine.
So now Crockett and Tubbs speak to Woodsy after Tubbs talks to Crockett about why didn't you shoot? You had a clear shot on him. And he's like, he was in my Ferrari. I'm not. And he's like, that doesn't matter.
I'm not going to shoot at that car.
We could have gotten the guy, and you didn't want to shoot your Ferrari. And they have that conversation. He's upset about it. They talk to Woodsy. Woodsy explains what happened in Hurricane Gloria to Pecker, and then they take this news to Castillo. Castillo broods some more, and he gives them their next objective. Now, this is the moment where
All right.
I guess where they're going to have to adapt.
This is an hour and a half. This is a special episode.
No, it's
This
not.
is-
No, it's not. No, it's not.
This
It's
is standard 46 with 6 minutes and 36 seconds
honestly,
worth of,
whenever I
commercials.
write it, the script's probably going to be like 28 pages.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Trust me, I've done this plenty. I've done this.
I think after some of the big songs from then too were also Tears for Fears, Everybody Wants to Rule the World, Wham's Careless Whisper, Madonna's Like a Virgin, Wham, Wake Me Up, Foreigner. There's so much. Dire Straits is Money for Nothing. That would be a good song for that one.
okay.
Yeah.
Not able nothing. And
Boom,
it's
bam.
lovely.
And look at them
Okay,
yo-yos.
boats for
Because
free.
this show is
Okay.
very like textual. Like
Yeah.
God, I sound like a douche when I talk.
No,
like that.
you're right. There's moments like in the show where they will play a whole song and a character will just walk down the street.
Yeah.
And also, it's also contextual, meaning that stuff like I said, the Liam Neeson episode. I know I keep harping on it.
Yeah.
But the Liam Neeson episode is all about the IRA shootings.
Yeah.
And in Miami, which is weird.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, that's what. There we go. That's what was so weird about the episode that I thought was so strange, is that Liam Neeson is an ex-IRA terrorist who has turned nonviolent, who is giving a speech on gun control in Miami.
Yeah.
When he is almost shot by a young IRA terrorist. Imagine how weird that is. How did any of those people get there? How's like fucking Seamus is like, what do you mean I got to fly to Miami and shoot him? Why can't I just shoot him here? I mean, he's going to come back, right? Like, I feel like it's a lot of travel.
There aren't any direct flights from Dublin to Miami.
And he's nonviolent. Why do we want to shoot him now? Well, when he turned nonviolent, that ruined the IRA cause. How does that make any goddamn sense?
All right.
Sorry, back to
No. That's good. So they go to Castillo and they have to formulate a final plan to go get Pecker Sweet. So this all this next part right here will all happen very quickly in dialogue. So he's going to adapt and destroy his things to get Pecker. He gets Pecker. He wants, because ultimately what he wants is to capture Pecker, but he also wants his things back. But what he needs, though, is to be able to let go of his stuff. And so
what if we add like a layer of drama, right?
Okay.
So like, let's just say that, so in this little neighborhood, right, that they live in, this boat neighborhood.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Pecker Sweet is cool, and he likes him. But Crockett also really likes the 10-year-old kid who is like the son of the single mom down the way.
Yeah.
And it turns out that the one early into this episode, that kid like stumbles onto a pile of cocaine and ODs and dies.
Okay.
And so like Crockett has to, so like the conflict is he wants to keep his stuff.
Yeah.
But he knows that the drugs are killing kids.
Yeah.
Like, I want my Ferrari back, but I won't let one more 10-year-old boy die.
So that can be like the pay he gets. So this is what happens. He needs to let go of his stuff. But let's say Pecker Sweet's boat is still on the dock. It's still there. He took Crockett's, and it's got cocaine in it. His Pecker Sweet's boat has cocaine in it. Yeah, it's got cocaine.
It's Crockett's boat, but Pepper Sweet is driving it.
Yeah.
And he's like, I got to get this cocaine across the bay.
Yeah, but Pecker Sweet's like his living boat is on the marina.
Still there.
Yeah.
It's still the marina.
And Pecker knows it's being watched.
Yeah, and it's still got some cocaine in it, and that's where Don Johnson Crockett is so obsessed with getting his stuff that whenever he gets his stuff back, he realizes that he never quarantined or he never did the police procedure thing of putting Pecker Sweet's boat like into evidence or anything like that. So the kid wanders in there looking for Pecker and sees some cocaine, does whatever.
Pecker?
Mr. Pecker?
Mr. Pecker, are you in here? Look at this pile of cocaine. Well, I guess I'll try this for the first time ever. Too much.
And so that whenever he captures,
we could go another way where he just finds a gun on Pecker's boat. Because that, I don't know, that would be an easier sell. If the gun's next to the pile of cocaine and he starts playing with the gun.
I was like, Pecker's running guns rather than cocaine.
No. I think the gun will be fine. He's not running guns rather than cocaine. It's like he's a man. He's a man in the cocaine.
So here's your
industry.
big moment.
So he has a gun.
Johnson. Here's your big moment. All right. So Pecker, seeing that he's about to get captured, jumps into Don Johnson's boat that is loaded with cocaine.
Yeah.
He flies away. Don Johnson does the thing that they've done 100 times in Miami Vice. Commandeers another speedboat.
Yeah.
Now they're on the water. They're chasing each other. He's going to get away. But Don Johnson's got to blow up his own boat.
Yeah, he's got to.
And he's got to come to that moral, like, I don't want to blow up my boat, but I can't let more kids die.
Yeah.
And so he goes, this one's for the kids, bitch, and like fires and then his boat explodes.
So it'll have to be that, but with his car, because we already established that we sold his boat.
Oh, I'm sorry, with his car.
Yeah. So
okay,
so
so he's driving with the Ferrari.
Yeah.
And Don Johnson's like, yeah, police commandeer, and he commandeers some dude's like Honda Acura, and he's like, driving down the road.
Let's just name 2 car brands. Honda Acura.
Whatever.
He's
whatever
got
the thing. Whatever the car is.
He's got his Toyota
Ford
Suzuki.
Focus. He's got his Ford Focus. And he's
Yeah.
driving, and like in the car chase, Pecker is still trying to figure out how to work the cruise control in the Ferrari. And he's back in the Ford Focus going, for 6 cylinders, this thing just will not go anywhere. This is a ridiculous. Where is the cup holder in the son of a bitch? And then he blows up the car.
He has to shoot the car, and let's say, you know what, he just kind of like shoots in its general direction, and it blows up. Like that's what
he aims for these. Like, I'm aiming for the gas tank.
he says that. I'm aiming for the gas tank of my car.
Pew pew pew.
Or you have a moment of exposition where he's like, one of the lesser known flaws of Ferraris. If it's like you shoot it in the gas tank, it just blows up. And
Yeah. And Tubbs goes, "You'll have to blow the car up to show your character growth here." And he shoots it and it blows up, and he's like, "I'm a changed man."
Changed man in Florida in the 80s who talks just like this.
So he blows up his car. You think that is like his payment for it. It's not, because that's the surface level pay.
Yeah.
And then he goes, let's say he goes back to the dock to, let's say he put his alligator, but he never took his alligator. Let's say he just kept his alligator at the dock. And now he's going to get his alligator, and he sees Pecker's boat there. And he's like, "Oh crap. I was so busy thinking about my stuff. I never locked this boat up into evidence."
Right.
And he goes in there, and then he sees the 10-year-old boy blown away, both from cocaine
Head
and
exploded and a pile of cocaine. And he's like, "Well, I guess I saved a few children today."
Yeah.
And then Tubbs is there, and he goes, "What the fuck is happening? How did his head explode into the cocaine?" Another sunset in Miami.
That's his paying. He has paid the price for not paying attention,
For his hubris.
for his hubris of
hubris,
wanting his stuff back so bad that he forgot his duty as a cop to
I love it.
to do some stuff. And so now we see him that's all like at the very end of him paying for it. Now he just kind of has to say that he needs to do better. Crockett is like, Tubbs is like, "You got to do better than this. Look at this dead body. Now you have to talk to the mom." And
I think that the comedy is that throughout this entire scene, every time it cuts to Tubbs, he is more confused by the scenario around him. Like, Crockett is just like, "You know what? I should have just put away that Ferrari, and I should have helped that kid the first time I saw him. I can't believe that he's gone." And it's just Tubbs is just like, "But how? I mean, there's brains on the ceiling. Did the brains ricochet
Christ,
off
his name's
the
Pecker
cocaine?
Sweet.
Yeah.
His name's Pecker Sweet, but you acting like a peck of wood, motherfucker.
I don't understand." Well, I'm gonna go tell this mother about her dead son. First, did he put the gun in the cocaine and pull the trigger? How did he know where the trigger was if it was buried in the cocaine?
And that's how it just ends. Because that's how they do.
Sunset in Miami.
They just begin and they just end, just like Law and Order episodes. Law and Order episodes. I remember seeing one just off topic. I remember seeing one episode of SVU that had Robin Williams as the guest star.
Oh yeah.
And he runs around a corner. Stabler chases him, and then there's a lake, and then Stabler looks into the lake and looks around, and then it just executive producer
Dick Wolf. Yeah.
And I'm like, what? He just got away?
Yeah. Oh yeah, no. SVU is the craziest show that I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
There is literally nothing and I promise you this is real. If you watch the episodes, at one point in time, someone will look at Ice-T and he will go, "Oh, well, let me go talk. Oh, baby fighting. Let me go talk to my buddies down at the baby fighting ring." And nobody stops him and goes, "Well, you know about a ring of people fighting babies? Like, how do you know that?" No, seriously, there's like several, like, "Oh, she's been raped. Well, let me go talk to my friends in the rapist ring." Wait, you know where they are? Like, you can just find them? I don't understand.
We have the show. Let's go over everything again just real quick. So, beginning, they're on a stakeout.
Yes.
They've learned about
They learned about a drug deal.
So they learned about a drug deal. They're on a
On the
stakeout.
docks.
And they're trying to find Dick.
They're trying to find Dick. They find Dick.
want another hot dog. You fucking fuck.
Yeah.
Things go sideways. Dick is shot and hurt.
Pew pew.
He-
Ow. Oh my God. Pecker, help me.
Yeah, he mentions Pecker Sweet.
Who's your boss? No,
yeah.
Tubbs should be the one being like,
Yeah.
"Who do you work for? Who do you work for?" And
See, Tubbs and one thing about the stakeouts is that Crockett and Tubbs are never at the stakeouts. They're never around. It's
Yeah,
very
they're
21
they're-
Jump
well,
Street.
no,
they're in
they
another
sometimes
space.
they are around. They're like
like
there.
around the corner. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes
okay.
sometimes
All right.
they are. Sometimes
Okay.
they're like they'll be there and they'll be watching. They'll be like from afar, just talking about how hot it is, and then
It's so warm out here
yeah.
today.
But then when things go down, somehow they're on the front lines. Like
Okay, got it.
immediately when things start going down, they'll be as far away as you can be. When shots start going, they're right there. They're, bah, 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 bah. They're the ones firing directly into the face from 2 feet away. And Tubbs gets on him like, who you getting this? Who's the next guy? And then he's like, Pecker Sweet, he dies. And then they talk to
Who's the next
Castillo.
guy?
They talked to Edward James Olmos.
Yeah, Castillo's got his hands in his pockets.
I really don't feel like it's that big of a deal, guys.
Yeah, and then Crockett is brooding because he knows a Pecker Sweet. Right. And how many people are there named Pecker Sweet? Turns out there's 5. And then Castillo says, "Go talk
looking
to
in this phone book. There are 5.
go
Pecker
talk to
Sweet.
your
Go talk to your
Pecker
Pecker Sweet."
Yeah, go talk to your Pecker Sweet." And they go. And then that's whenever we see some 10-year-old action. We get the 10-year-old, we get the neighbor.
Yeah.
We go like, "Hey, where's
Hey there, Mister.
where's Pecker at?"
Hey, okay. All right, so here's how it works. So he comes back, right? There's the alligator on the boat parking space.
Oh, not yet.
Oh, wait, so Pecker Sweet has not stolen the boat yet.
Oh no, he has. But if we do it like this, if we add your idea of a 10-year-old and the mother, they go to Pecker Sweet's boat. That way they can look in there and be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, he's not here." They go to Pecker Sweet's neighbors, which is hey, you know where Pecker is? And then they
He's
say,
outside kicking a soccer ball.
yeah,
for
yeah,
no
he's
reason.
on the marina kicking a
Yeah,
soccer
exactly.
ball, and he's
Yeah,
like,
just
"Whoa!"
doing something.
My
It's
mom
playing-
is too busy working 4 jobs because she's single.
yeah.
Right.
Where's Pecker? And he's like, "Oh, he went to go to your boat." They're like, "Oh God!" They go to Crockett's boat. They find the alligator on the dock. His
Right.
boat's gone.
Gotcha.
And then we can like have a little bit more with the 10-year-old. The 10-year-old can come back with his little soccer ball and
Yeah,
be
he's
like he's like, "You need someone to watch the alligator for you?"
Yeah.
And-
Okay. That's a good tie-up. Too.
Yeah, there you go.
And then
I don't care about that alligator. I only care about my boat. But I'll tell you what, if you want to play with him or something, that's fine.
He likes
Blatant
raw.
disregard of child safety.
yeah.
Man, the '80s were awesome.
It's perfectly fine. Like, how old are you? He's like, "I'm 8. All right, yeah, take the alligator.
Yeah.
I think
Exactly.
the alligator's name is Cheeseburger because he only eats cheeseburgers. Feed the alligator cheeseburgers. Okay, that sounds like fun.
Yeah. He likes
And the
raw
fat
chicken
guy
cutlets.
and the fat guy in the survey, I want to eat the cheeseburgers. And the other guy's like, fuck you. I know you do.
You do.
You have an eating disorder, sir.
So, and he goes like, "Alligator cheeseburger sounds good."
So then the boat's gone.
So,
Boat's gone.
The boat's gone.
They go back to Castillo. They have another moment,
The exposition.
Stolen.
The
He's
exposition.
upset.
and
is
Castillo
really
gives
upset.
them a little bit more info. Say like, "Hey, how about you guys? Someone knows Woodsy. Who knows Woodsy again?"
I'll tell you what, guys. If I was going to figure out who was trying to sell a boat, I would go to Jose, the guy, the British actor.
Oh, that's right.
Who
that's
plays
right,
the
that's
terrible
right. Yeah,
Mexican.
Yeah. So he goes to them,
Senor
and then
Tacos.
that guy,
Mexican.
Hispanic,
Cuban,
Mexican,
yeah.
whatever,
like,
something,
"Hey,
I
He's
I
something.
Yeah.
Hola, senor. I would imagine that they're down in the old Swampa, El Swampo.
And then you
El
like
Swampo
as they were driving from the British Mexican to Woodsy, that's when you have the cut with like Dire Straits, Money for Nothing, Chicks for Free.
Yeah.
You know, like that's when you drive from.
Now, however, because
Oh, we haven't gotten there yet.
no, I'm not saying that. It's like I'm gonna have to play something else because if you
Licensing rights.
if you put a song in there, they'll just rip it right out. They'll be like, no, you
Yeah.
didn't pay for that. So I'm just gonna have to do.
Just have me and Will going. Get your money for less than its value, and your chicks will also be undervalued.
Meow, 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 meow.
I like my music television.
Look at those
station.
people. That's
Oh,
incorrect.
Why are they doing those things? I want a refrigerator. I like to own stuff.
Meow,
Money
meow,
for
meow.
nothing. Money for under its value. Chicks for
And
chicks
pussy
are not how we
crush it.
should say it. We should
So
say
they-
women.
So they drive to the swamp,
And
And,
women to finger blast.
and they put the binoculars on, and then they see Woodsy, they see Pecker, they see Woodsy give Pecker some money. They move in to capture Pecker. Pecker manages to get away, takes the Ferrari. As he
Where's the cruise control? I don't understand how to.
As he drives off, he throws Tubbs down on the ground. Tubbs has lost his gun; he can't shoot. And then there's Crockett standing right in front, and he's got his sights aimed directly at Pecker's face, but he doesn't have the courage to shoot at his Ferrari. He jumps out of the way. The Ferrari gets away.
I really do want to figure out this cruise control.
Yeah. And then they leave. That's lost. They go back one more time to Castillo. They have to figure out a way to get.
And that's
to,
when Castillo points out the fact that ever since Hurricane Gloria,
Yeah.
there's been a lot of cocaine washing up on the shore, and that's the wow.
Well, actually, I forgot. I'm happy you mentioned that because that's whenever they talk to Woodsy and they find out Pecker's background, and then they bring that information to Castillo.
Yeah.
And that's where Castillo is able to set up their next rendezvous. They can guess where Pecker will be because ever since Hurricane Gloria, they got to do this. This is where these people meet. If Pecker's involved in the Hurricane Gloria stuff, then these are the drug lords that they gotta.
There's only one way to drive cocaine to Cuba, and that's through the Keys. It's got to take the coastal highway through the Keys.
So they gotta go down there, and I'd say we'd have to meet the kid one more time in between them going there.
He's just selling a bag of oranges.
Yeah, well, we
they're
gotta
going
go
into
down
the
there.
police station,
Yeah.
and it's the same 10-year-old boy. He's like, I just need some oranges. I'm going to sell these oranges for food because Mom has to work 9 jobs to feed us in
That's
Miami.
great because they don't go, so they don't have to go back to the dock yet. So they go whenever they're going in to meet Castillo. The kid's there, and he's like, "Hey, I'm all out of stuff to feed the alligator, and I'm selling these oranges, and I'm trying to get
Just
money."
to buy more alligator
And he's like, "Here,
cheeseburgers.
just take this money."
All this money.
And this is whenever the kid can also mention that maybe I'll go into Pecker's place and see if he's got any food. And he's like, "Good idea, kid." And then it doesn't even
I
occur
don't care
to
about
him.
you. Do whatever you want to.
Right.
It doesn't
even occur to
It
him.
doesn't even occur to him that Pecker's thing is not closed up. So then they meet with Castillo. They formulate a plan. They know where Pecker's going to be. They go to get Pecker. They stop the plan from happening.
Yep.
Shootout occurs. He gets away. They're chasing him in a Toyota Acura, and
And a Toyota Chevrolet.
they chase him down. This is whenever Crockett realizes he has to destroy his things in order to capture this guy.
Right.
And so they shoot. There's some stupid thing where if you shoot at the car here, it'll stop. And they shoot it in the car.
I once read in a magazine about Ferraris that if you shoot them perfectly in the tailpipe, much like the Death Star, they'll just explode.
Well, what if he doesn't say that? Like it'll stop them, and then it just explodes violently. Like they just say, like if you shoot it in the tailpipe, it'll stop the car. But then they shoot it, and it just blows up.
Right.
It blows up in a massive fireball.
No!
Pecker! Yeah. They scream. They both scream Pecker longingly, and and they stop the car. They get out. They grab Pecker. Pecker I guess this is his like. He dies in their arms. Yeah.
Should it be like an 80s style, like Reagan-esque PSA?
You know, like as he's like dying out, you know, where he's just like,
gotten into the drugs.
I guess I should have just said no. You know,
You should
It
have
only
listened to
occurs to me
Nancy.
now, here at the moment of death, my hubris in the face of the danger of drugs. I should never have gotten involved in the first place. Maybe if I'd have listened to my mother and become a podiatrist or a dentist. But no, I wanted to be a rock and roller, and now. And then as he's doing the speech, Don Johnson and Tubbs begin to talk because they've stopped listening.
Yeah.
There was death.
What time
speech.
is it?
We really probably need to get back to the office station, right? We've got a lot of paperwork.
We got a lot of paperwork. I blew
You know,
up
it
my
was at
Ferrari.
the age of 13. This is the first time I ever saw a person do cocaine up close and personal, and it frightened me at my core, but it also excited me, and I decided I would try it. Flash forward 10 years later. here
as
I am.
some German philosopher once
Buried
said,
to
we have a
death.
death wish, though we like to live on the precipice of being alive.
So yeah, he dies.
And then he dies.
He dies. Crockett is, I guess he's sad about losing his thing, but he's happy to have stopped drugs flowing through the veins of Miami.
That's one less cocaine dealer we got to deal with tomorrow.
And then Tubbs goes like, "All right, man, you can stay with me, but your alligator's got to stay outside. Let's go pick him up." And then they go to pick up the alligator. They notice the kid's not there. They go like, "Oh my gosh, well, I forgot to close
Pecker's
up
door is open.
Pecker's door. I forgot to close this up for evidence." And then they go in there, and there's the kid. From his top teeth up is nothing. He's
blown his face completely off.
It's splattered nothing but skull brains and shredded eyeballs. And but his ears are perfectly placed.
I don't understand how the ears did not explode in this gunshot. You know, I've really learned a lesson today.
And that's what happens. It ends there.
There you go,
It
perfect.
ends. And we have it.
Yeah.
We've written an episode of Miami Vice.
Yeah.
So
Super fun.
we covered the whole entire thing. We did so that was good. I mean, so
I
yeah,
think that's the
when
song.
that's when the drum machine comes on.
Yay!
Yay!
All right.
Yay!
And now the podcast just kind of ends.
Yeah, it does. It just kind of ends. Yeah. Thank you so much for listening. As always, if you enjoyed it, leave a review, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff, and come back next month when we perform an episode of Drake and Josh. Can't wait for that one, guys. Have a good day.